Assalamu alaikum. I am Moinuddin Ahmed. My ID is 19301095. This is my presentation of Stuxnet malware. First of all, let us know about some 0 days vulnerabilities which brought life to Stuxnet malware. This is CVE20102722. Siemens Symantec, WinCC and PCS7 SCADA system use a hard-coded password which allows a local user to access a backend database and gain privileges, as demonstrated in the wild in July 2010 by Stuxnet malware. CVE 20102568 is vulnerability in Windows shell which could allow remote code execution if the icon of a specially crafted shortcut is displayed. This security update is rated critical for all supported editions of Microsoft Windows. Windows Shell in Microsoft Windows XP, Service Pack 3, Server 2003, Service Pack 2 and Vista Service Pack 1 and 2, Server 2008, Service Pack 2 and Windows 7 allows local user or remote attackers to execute arbitrary code via a crafted LNK file or PIF shortcut file which is not properly handled during icon display in Windows Explorer as demonstrated in the wild in July 2010, and originally reported for malware that leverages CVE20102722 in Siemens WinCC's SCADA systems. Now let's learn about industrial control system and PLC. Industrial control system runs automated process on factory floors, power chemical plants, oil refiners, etc. They use specialized assembly code on programmable logic controllers, or in short PLCs, which are programmed in Windows. Also note that these systems are not connected to internet. The target is Siemens SCADA PLC, which are programmed using Step 7 software in Windows. Experts who have disassembled the code of Stuxnet malware say it was designed to target a specific configuration of computers and industrial controllers, likely those of Natanz nuclear facility in Iran. So, here is the steps. Initial infection. Stuxnet can enter an organization through an infected removable drive. When plugged into a computer that runs Windows, Stuxnet infects the computer and hides itself. It is done by 0-day MS10046 vulnerability, which does shortcut exploit plus auto execution. Then update and spread part. If the computer is on the internet, Stuxnet may try to download a new version of itself. Stuxnet then spreads by infecting other computers as well as any removable drive plugged into them. The final target is Stuxnet seeks out computer running Step 7 software used to program Siemens controllers. The controllers regulate motors using centrifuges and other machinery, while the computers in a secure facility may not be on a network. They can be infected with removable drive such as USB thumb drives. After infecting a controller, Stuxnet hides itself. After several days, it begins to speeding and slowing the motors and try to damage and destroy the machinery. It also sends out false signal to make system think everything is running smoothly. We will now learn some inside details shortly. If you are running without administrative privileges, Stuxnet will use 0-day vulnerabilities to become an admin. In Windows 2000 and XP, MS10073 keyboard layout vulnerability is exploited. In Windows Vista, Windows 7, MS10092 task scheduler vulnerability is exploited. Then it injects the code into trusted Windows process like LSASS or WinLogon. Exploiting MS10073. In Windows XP, a user level program can load keyboard layout. Integer in a layout file indexes a global array of function pointers which has no bounds checking. It can use this call to any function. So it finds a pointer to this array to user modifiable memory, injects attack code there, use bad indexing to call modified function which will run with admin privileges. Exploiting MS10092. In Windows Vista and 7, users can create and edit scheduled tasks. The malware modifies user definition in the task to local system. Windows rootkit. The goal is to hide itself when copied to removable drive by extracting resource 201 as driver MRX net SOS. This driver is digitally signed and registered as a service. But how can it be signed? Here is the reason. Stuxnet drivers were signed using stolen private keys to Taiwanese semiconductor companies named Realtek and J Micron. Let's see what is the outcome of it. Stuxnet affects PLC controls of frequency converter drivers. A frequency converter drive controls the speed of another device used in auto system, gas and pipeline, etc. Firstly, it records normal behavior of PLC. Then it executes the sequences of commands that rapidly slow down or speeds up the motors. Meanwhile, it replies normal behavior. Here is the affected systems worldwide. It is still unclear who has actually built this malware, but it is examined that Stuxnet will not infect systems that contain safe code 19790509. It is the execution date of Habib Elghanian, who was an Israel spy. Researchers think that it is built by Israel, US, UK and Germany. So it is clear that it affects just industrial equipment. Therefore, we are safe, right? Actually, no. There is a successor of Stuxnet malware called Flame. It is possibly related to Stuxnet but much more complex than it. It exploits an MD5 hash collision attack on Microsoft Update Code signing certificate. Its purpose is spying rather than industrial sabotage, as it logs keystrokes, records audio and grabs GPS tags from photos. So this was my presentation. Thank you.